Hello, welcome to Math 241, Section 1.1. This is review of lines and rate, that sort of thing. Hopefully this is review. If it's not, let me know via email. Let's dive right in and start by thinking about what rate means in English, just like conversationally, like what rate means. If you Google it, Google says it's like a measure or quantity, typically one measured against some other quantity or measure. So I'm going to write like the key point there, which is that it's a quantity measured against another quantity. So it's like comparing two things. Okay, I promise I won't write sentences that much. So an example of a rate would be like miles per hour, or like ounces a second. But we could like even get like sort of more like bizarre, like you could do like root beers per pizza. So this would be like how many root beers you drink per pizza that you eat. So it's just comparing how two things flow together. And this will kind of keep coming back up with lines. And so let's dive into that. The general form of a linear model that we're going to use in this class is f of x equals mx plus b. So y equals mx plus b, it's the same thing, we're just using function notation. This is called the slope-intercept form. So that m is the slope or the steepness, and the b is the y-intercept. So, like I said, m is slope / steepness, but it's also a rate. It's like the rate of change. And b is the starting point or the y-intercept. So let's do a problem using that. Model the following situation with a linear equation. Okay, so that means we're going to use f of x equals mx plus b. In 2009, the average cost of attending a public college for 1 year was $6,600 and was expected to increase at a rate of $390 per year for the next 5 years. So I'm going to start by, kind of making a table. So in 2009, it cost $6,600. So then the next year, 2010, let's see, it was expected to increase at a rate of 390. So that means I'm going to go from 6,600, I'm going to add to that 390, which is 6,990. And so then 2011, yet again, it's going to go up by 390. So 6,990 plus 390, is 7,380. Okay, so I could keep going like this. We're supposed to do this for 5 years. But I'm going to do a little trick here where instead of thinking of 2009 as like the number 2009, I'm instead going to make that be my initial value. So I'll let x equals 0 correspond to 2009. So x equals 1 will be 2010, x equals 2 will be 2011. So I could, if I wanted, I could let x equal 2009. I'm just simplifying and using smaller numbers like 0, 1, and 2. That also helps me because that tells me that 6,600 is my initial value. So if this is my, x values, then down here, these are my f of x values. Sometimes I have trouble figuring out what's going to be my x and what's going to be my f of x. And as a rule of thumb, if time is an option, like 2009, 2010, 2011, time should always be your x if that's an option. So that's how I got that x equals 0, 1, and 2, is I know that time is usually x. So I'm using this format mx plus b. So I already know the initial value is 6,600. And then if you remember, m is the slope or the steepness or the rate of change. And we were told that the rate is 390. So I'll just plug that in. F of x equals 390x plus 6,600. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, post a question in the Q&A discussion board and let's talk about it.